Hello and welcome to Political Bazaar. In today's show, we will be discussing the importance of Uttar Pradesh. Three more phases are to go starting Monday, May 6th. To discuss this with me, I have Sumit Pande, the Political Editor for News18.com, and Gaurav Choudhary, the Deputy Executive Editor for Moneycontrol. Thank you, Sumit and Gaurav, for coming on the show. Let me ask Sumit, Uttar Pradesh, three more phases to go, important seats. How does it look? Is it a three-way contest as many are saying it to be?
Well, as I've seen Uttar Pradesh in the first three phases, as I travelled there, it does not look like a three-way contest.
Okay.
There are pockets of seats where Congress may be contesting as a third party or a candidate.
All right.
But it is increasingly becoming a bipolar polity in Uttar Pradesh. The voters' mind and its crystallization around the two political formations, that is Gathbandhan, Samajwadi Party, BSP, and the RLD on one side, and BJP on the other side, is very clear and crystal clear. Their social basis seems to be mobilizing around them. There seems to be vote transfer amongst the social bases that these political formations cater to. And I think the elections are going to essentially be determined more or less to a greater extent on the demography or demographics of the various constituencies that go to the polls.
Then go to the polls. Gaurav, we have discussed about Uttar Pradesh quite often in our shows. How do you see this going? The reason why I'm asking is that Congress is going on its own because it wanted its presence to be felt in Uttar Pradesh, and that's why it did not be a part of it. And also, Mayawati did not want it to become. How do you see it?
No, as the election has progressed from phase one until the fourth phase, it's going back to good old politics in UP, which is again identity-based politics, and this whole narrative of development, etc., again has taken a backseat. That is a little unfortunate that we are 70 years after independence, if we are still stuck in caste and identity-based politics based on caste and religion. I don't think we have progressed too much. But having said that, one thing that I would like to ask Sumit is, to what extent is the Yadav a factor? And if you to borrow a term from psephology, we theoretically seem to see that there is an index of opposition unity which is probably closing towards 1. Do you see that happening? Do you think the transfer of votes of SP to BSP and vice versa is going to happen almost 100%?
I think this election hinges on a couple of critical factors as I see it. One is obviously that you have the saturation of the base vote of these political formations as it is. The BJP with a large section of the upper caste votes, and then you have the minor OBCs or the backward classes, that is the non-Yadav OBCs on the other side. Then we have the Gathbandhan, which is basically banking on the Dalits of the BSP, the Yadavs of the Samajwadi Party, and the minority votes, which is around 16 to 20%.
Yeah.
Now, in this political, straight fight, I think it is two factors will be important. Whether in certain constituencies, one political formation is able to impinge on a section of the vote bank on the other side.
Yes.
And the other would be obviously the turnout.
Yes.
of the electorate of the constituency of the
Correct.
group.
But one big difference between 2014 and 2019, so far as UP is concerned, is that in 2019, the BJP is contesting the elections when its own party is in power in the state. How much is that a factor?
Well, yes, in the sense that you have a double incumbency. You have a government at the center, you have a government in the state. You have more than 90% of the MPs are from BJP in Uttar Pradesh,
Yes.
and almost 80% of the MLAs on the legislatures have won on BJP ticket.
Correct.
So you have the incumbency of the MPs and the MLAs there. But having said that, I would still say that these elections for the BJP, at least I think it's the candidates are not as important as probably the party and Prime Minister Modi's face. I think those who are voting for BJP and the caste base that they have is essentially a vote for Modi and not the individual. I've come across constituencies where probably some of the incumbent MPs, I probably thought that they would have been replaced by the BJP. They were not. And they still seems to be getting votes from a certain sections of the BJP's upper caste who are saying that we don't support the individual candidate and we don't like him, but still we are voting for the BJP.
Has this always been the case with the BJP where candidates do not matter, it's only your leader that matters? I'm asking this because in the south you see many parties like the ADMK, the TDP and all, it was for a long time your leader that mattered. The candidates virtually were unknown faces. Are you saying that you're seeing more or less a trend like that over here this time, where Modi is the face?
For the BJP, yes.
For the BJP.
But then there is a very strong, mobilization on the other side also.
Okay.
Those who are for the BJP and those who think that and they come from a certain section of the society or the social groups, which feels that they are going to back the Gathbandhan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about since you talked about the coming together of the bases where the votes are. There was initially a speculation that the SP votes might not move to the BSP candidate, while the BSP votes moving to the SP candidate is that vote transfer across the sections. Is it happening from the data that you've got so far?
Well,
because if that does not happen, the Gathbandhan does not work to a certain extent.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So 2 and 2 always doesn't make 4 in politics. But see, there are a couple of things which I noticed and which few people have written about, that this election for BJP, they say, hinges on another 2 aspects, that whether BJP is able to win away a section of the BSP Dalit votes and a section of Yadav votes of the Samajwadi Party. Now, there are 80 seats in UP. BJP has given ticket to 1 Yadav. That is Azamgarh, a Bhojpuri film star is contesting against Akhilesh.
Okay.
There are a dozen candidates fielded by the Gathbandhan from the Yadav community.
Okay.
Does it help BJP to win away Yadav votes? I'm not very sure, because in the past there have been instances where political parties have successfully made inroads into Yadav votes, but then those parties have fielded very strong Yadav satraps.
Okay.
For example, in 2004, Mayawati got 4 or 5 Yadav MPs elected on BSP symbol. Got the Dalit votes transferred to Yadav candidate because she chose those very powerful leaders. There was one guy called Ramakant Yadav, Umakant Yadav from Azamgarh. So I'm not really sure whether that would happen in Eastern Uttar Pradesh, but nonetheless, I think BJP would attempt to make the inroads, and essentially, I think they are banking on Prime Minister's own image.
Ambition. You were saying something?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask Sumit about, why aren't we hearing about the temple so much from the BJP as one would have expected probably? Not discussing the Ram Mandir, not making it an electoral issue. Is that part of the conscious strategy to keep it outside the electoral phraseology?
I think it is, and I think there was a realization also, because otherwise BJP, just when the RSS pressure came last year and early this year, BJP would have probably done much more than what they did, including in the manifesto. But I think people, there is probably a realization that try to take a look at it this way, that the first time voter born, say, in the year 2000, the Ram Temple issue happened 10 years before he was even born. Okay. So what is the number of electorate which can associate itself directly with the Ram Temple movement?
Okay.
Is it that aspiring young voter among the upper caste or other classes also? So I think it has been a very conscious decision. Nationalism, yes, on the other hand, things which have happened recently in the past 5, 10, 15 years, I think they have a much better recall value for the BJP leader.
I've kept this question for the last. How much of a factor is Priyanka Gandhi in this election? The Congress is banking big on Priyanka Gandhi. They think that they are hoping that she can turn around quite a few votes, seats. How do you look at it?
See, as I see these elections across the country, not only Uttar Pradesh, I see a very strident BJP trying to gain another term in power. And I see an equally tenacious regional satraps who are challenging the BJP.
Okay.
It is West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, Naveen Patnaik, Chandrababu Naidu, or even Stalin, say. And in Uttar Pradesh, Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav.
Okay.
Under those circumstances, where does Priyanka Gandhi fit in? You saw yesterday what happened. Priyanka gave a statement that we have fielded candidates to help the Gathbandhan. Today, this morning, we have a very strong rebuttal coming both from Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav.
Yes.
There is a feeling within the opposition ranks, in Uttar Pradesh at least, that Congress is more interested, as they have said also, explicitly many times, in preparing for 2022.
Okay. So, okay. But do you think this, the statement yesterday and the counter today, is it in a way one of the political tactics where you occupy as much airspace and news
Is
space.
it more about headline management?
Headline
rather
management,
than
because
actually securing
I
votes?
do not really know why Priyanka Gandhi made that statement yesterday politically, but I can understand why there has been a very sharp rebuttal from both Samajwadi Party and Akhilesh. See, when Congress Party says, first of all, you must understand that keeping Congress out of the alliance has been a very conscious decision of the Gathbandhan, because Congress Party has a captive vote in every constituency, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. If Congress fights the election in alliance, then say Congress is contesting 10 seats, then in those remaining 70 seats, this voter will not get transferred to SP or BSP. It may go to BJP.
Okay.
And suppose if Congress is contesting elections separately, then those Congress candidates not only get those votes, but on the basis of by dint of the caste base, they may get some votes which may either otherwise go to
the BJP. Okay.
Now, Priyanka Gandhi having spelled that out, I think Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav were trying to put these speculations to rest that there is some tacit understanding between BJP, rather Congress and the Gathbandhan on this issue, in a way to stop the Congress voter or the upper caste voter from going towards BJP. Indirectly, it may mean that what Priyanka Gandhi said, that we are there to take away a section of the BJP votes, which might otherwise have gone to the BJP. So if the electorate realizes that this is helping Gathbandhan and not the BJP, then that vote might shift to BJP.
It's difficult to understand which way Uttar Pradesh will vote, but the next three phases will be important to determine which party will form the government in 2019. Thank you, Sumit. Thank you, Gaurav, for your views. That's all from us for now. For more news and updates, stay tuned to moneycontrol.com.